Hi everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. I am back with part 4 of the lantern box, and I want to share with you what I did off camera. I did decorate mine. I already added my sunflowers that I created a few years ago, little pine cones and berries and pumpkins, and then here's my little owl. Here's my carnation craft flowers that I added to both corners, opposite corners. And so I did that off camera. Also, if you're doing the same thing I am, make sure that if you're adding something on top, that it sits below the hook or in front of or behind the hook, not right in the middle. Mine was almost right in the middle and I didn't think about it. It still worked out for me, but it could have been better. So to create the bottom of the lantern, we have to create two things. One is a little tray like this. I'm not going to create this little tray with you, but I am going to give you the instructions on, explain to you how I did that. Now, if you guys recall, the panels here were 3 5/8 the length. I'll measure again to make sure. And you measure your rooftop from corner to corner. It's 3 5/8. I'm sorry. Yes, 3 5/8. It is 3 5/8. So, in order to make, I have stuff everywhere, you guys, but this is how I work. In order to make this box, you're going to want it a little bit smaller than a 3 5/8 box. So, and I only did a 1/2 inch lip. That's all that I needed. So the directions for this, cut you out a piece of paper that measures a little under 4 5/8 by 4 5/8. And I mean just a little under it. That will give you your 2 1/2 inch on either side, half and half. And when you take off that little bit, it gives you enough room where it's just a little bit smaller, and that way your box won't be too loose in there. You can fix it if you make a lid too loose, a tray too loose. You can just add strips of paper to bulk it up, and that way your lantern fits on there snugly. Because we're going to glue this, the lantern, we're going to glue it to this base. So you need a piece that measures 4. I'm going to tell you right now exactly. I'm going to say just right above 4 1/2, but not quite 4 5/8. So just go just a little bit. And I don't know if you know, but see right there's 4 1/2. When you move to the next one, the next dotted line, that's 4 5/8. You don't want to do that. You want to be in between the 4 1/2 and the 4 5/8 mark, and you're going to need a square. Then you're going to take it and you're going to score it 1/2 inch all the way around, and you're going to create a box. You can see the tabs right there. You can see what I did. I think you can see what I did. That's all you're going to do there. And this is this portion right here. To create this section right here, you need a piece of paper that measures 6 3/4 by by 12. And the thing though, you're going to have a tab that's not quite an inch. I would have liked it to be an inch, but I wanted to do it in one piece. I didn't want to add pieces to it. My box, the perimeter, the base that my lantern is going to sit on is a 4 3/4, so that gives me a little bit all the way around the perimeter of the lantern. To create this, you need a piece of paper that measures 4 3/4 by 12 inches, and then you're going to score. I already have mine pre-done, but I'm going to show. I cut another piece out so you can see. You're going to score it on the long side at 1 inch. You're going to rotate it again to the long side, and you're going to score it at 1 inch again. The long side going down. Turn this sideways. You're going to, actually this side, you're going to score it 1 inch then you're going to score again at at 5 3/4, because the box is 4 3/4 plus that inch, so it's 5 3/4. Then you're going to score again at 6 3/4 because you need an inch there as well, and then you're going to score at 11 1/2, and that's going to give you this short tab. Now you're going to take your scissors. I'm not going to cut this, actually I will cut it with you guys. You're going to take this and you're going to cut right here in the middle score line. You're not going to cut it off completely. You're just going to snip on that score mark all the way to the intersecting score line. You're going to do that on this side as well, because you're creating a box. So actually I think, what did I do here? Yeah, so just on the side you're going to cut those up to the score mark, and then on the short piece you're going to cut off those two little squares right there. You are not going to need this, so you're going to cut up to the score mark and then you're going to cut it off. You don't need that. Hopefully you can see better than I can, because I don't ever cut anything straight. So I'm going to cut to there, and I'm going to cut that tab off. So as you can see, the short tab, you're going to cut off the corners, but in the long one, you're just going to snip it. You're not going to cut them off. And same thing here, but what I will recommend that you do here, take your scissors and just take out a little wedge on either side of that center tab, and you'll be able to see. Do that on either side, on both sides, and just take that off. That way it doesn't cause you any problems. And then you're going to go ahead and score your paper. And two, if you want to layer it with anything, now's the time to do it. I did add a decorative paper right here. If you don't want to, you don't have to, and I didn't add one here, so I just added the one right here on the base. And you're going to, depending on where you want your opening, I want my opening to be on it can be on the back, it can be on one of the sides, just as long as it's not on the short side, because I want this to be a box where you can get in and change the batteries to the light. So this is how I did mine. The short side tab is to my right, the 1 inch is to my left, and I'm going to close the box, and that's how I determine where these go, because these flaps are going to go underneath those flaps. See, we're going to close it up like that, so you're not going to see the black part. So you only need to cover right around the box, those 4 strips. And I did do an inch, the exact same size. What is it, 4 3/4 by an inch, because I was going to emboss them, and I knew that when you emboss them it kind of shrinks a little bit, so I left them at that size. So I hardly have any border. Now when you get that done, you're going to add the little tray that you're going to make, that your lantern is going to slide onto. You're going to glue it to the base the way I have it here. And then you're going to take something and pierce a hole right in the center, because this is where our tree is going. But the tree's going to be on foam, and I'll be able to thread my lights through there. Now my lights just came in. I will link these in the description box below. They are orange. They are orange. See? And I'm going to add them to my box before I even glue it together, because then it would be a little bit more difficult for me to put them in there. So that's why I waited till my lights came in today to finish the tutorial. So all you have to do is unravel your lights, feed them through the bottom, make the hole big enough, not too big, but big enough that you can thread your lights through them. And these are little miniature lights, so they will fit. They will go right through there. and I'm going to thread the whole thing. And these are 3 foot. It's on a 3 foot wire, but there are some that are bigger if you prefer more lights, or if you want them to twinkle. I did find those, but only in the longer wire. I think it's 6 foot, maybe 6.5 feet long wire, which is not really a lot. All you have to do is fold it in half. So all I'm doing is pulling the lights through, threading them through. Because we need to have our tree and everything before we glue this down. So after we glue this down, you will not be able to open this on the inside of the lantern. But you will be able to, hold on, I got a kink. But you will be able to change the lights and stuff like that, because this portion that has the lights is going to be in the box. So I threaded the last one through there. I'm not going to do anything with this, guys. I don't have to tape it down. I don't have to do anything because it's going to be encased in a box. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close up and glue up my box. I might create another one, you guys, because I think I'm going to give this to one of my nieces. That way she can have it. So you're just going to fold in your tabs. You're going to fold this portion in as well. Almost like a pizza box. You're going to fold this in. And now for me, I'm going to close the short end, and I'm going to stick the tabs on the inside, I think. That's what I want to do. Yeah. And I'm going to close that short end down. And I'm going to leave the opening that I'm going to leave to be able to get to my lights is going to be on the side. Or actually it can be on the back, but this, I don't want to leave it open. So I'm just going to add glue here. Let me open it back up and add some glue to the tab so I can glue that in place. And I did angle the corners, taper the corners, the way I do anytime I'm doing any type of tabs. I'm sorry if I'm rushing you guys, but I don't want to hold you guys up too much. So there's that one. And I can actually get my hand in here and make sure that the tab is being glued down. Come on. Don't be ugly. Don't be ugly. I'm going to hold it for a minute. Hopefully it'll set and I'll be able to So, you know, this is a little, it's not really tedious, but when you're on camera, you really do try to do things really fast. That way you don't hold people up. But sometimes that cannot be helped. I'm going to take this tool here and I'm going to just kind of press that bottom, that edge, make sure it's stuck down. Okay, now the part that I'm leaving open is the one that my lights are hanging out of. So right here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to turn in the tabs and I'm going to add glue. You can add glue to those tabs as well if you want. You don't have to, because when you fold this in, you're going to glue that down and they're not going anywhere. I'm just adding glue and I'm closing it up. But remember to leave one side open, because you need that one side to be able to get into your lights to turn them on and off. So I'm going to hold it for a minute. I don't know what I did with my tool. Oh, here it is. It's white like my countertop. And I'm just going to press that down, make sure it's making contact. Okay, so that's all we needed to do there. Now for this, we're just going to put this in there and close it up, and you will need to use whether it be a magnet or a Velcro dot, anything you want to use to keep it closed. You do need to keep it closed because you don't want anything to fall out. Now I want that to be to the back of mine, I'm going to get some foam, and I'm going to put my tree on foam. Let me grab some foam squares. And I'm going to thread the lights and wrap them around my tree. So I'm just taking a couple of pieces of dimensional tape, and I'm going to put it on the bottom of my tree, and I'm going to leave a gap in the center because that's where my lights are going to run through. And just tape it down. I would add glue here, you guys, because once you tape this down, it will not, you will not be able to open it back up in case your tree comes off, gets unglued or whatever. So just add some glue for added security. Make sure your wire is, see, I'm positioning my wire, and I'm going to put my tree right over those lights. So I want my tree to be in the center. And then I'm going to wrap my tree. If you can find a black tree or something like that, or maybe like a tree that is more realistic, that has the branches with the fall leaves, something like that would be gorgeous. But I couldn't find anything like that. So there's my tree already in there. And now I'm just going to take my lights, you guys, and I'm going to wrap it around my tree. If you have small pumpkins, small candy corns, you could definitely add them to your tree if you want. I'm not going to add anything but the lights. And then I'm gonna keep going till I'm done with the whole strand. Now, if I was using the longer one, the one that blinks, I would fold the wire in half, and then I would start wrapping it. There's just too much stuff on my desk, you guys. Seriously. And I'm going to keep going with this until I'm done. These lights keep getting caught up on everything. So keep it nice and tight. That way they go into your tree and the wire is not sticking out so much. And at this point, I'm going to turn it on so I'll know where I need to add a light. Look at that, you guys. Is that cute or what? Yes. Love it. I want some more lights down here. Another one right there. And I'm getting to the end of my strand. And I'm just going to tuck it in. Make sure you tuck it in nice and tight. You don't want it to escape. And I can push this wire where it's not really that noticeable. Oh, there's a light down here. And I want that to show. I want all my lights to show. So there is that, you guys. All we have to do now is add our lantern portion on top. And hold on. And I'm going to glue it in place. But this is, I'm going to show you a side view. And then I'm going to finish decorating it. I'm going to turn the light off, you guys. So it's not glued down yet. Look at that. How cute is that, you guys? So let me go ahead and glue this down because I'm not adding anything else to the inside. So I'm going to add glue to the perimeter of my tree. Now, make sure your tree is straight if it's crooked, because once you put it in there, it's there. You won't be able to go in there and change it. So make it as straight as it possibly can be. And actually, I have some little teeny tiny pumpkins that I could add to my tree just around the border of my tree if I wanted. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just leave a couple in there. Nah, I'm not. That's why I don't like doing videos, you guys, because now I feel like maybe I want to do something more. I don't think the pumpkins would be real noticeable if I put them on the inside, so I'm going to say I'm not going to, and I'm going to tuck my little light in there, guys, and you will be able to just close this up with some Velcro dots. You'll be able to close this up. I still need to add Velcro dots to mine. I do have some black ones, and I'm going to add one on either side. I feel like if I only do one here, the corners are going to stick out a little bit. So I'm going to add two, one to either side. And let's go ahead and glue this in place so you guys can get a real good look at it. So I'm going to take this. I had to build mine up a little bit because mine was, because I took off 1/8 of an inch, and that was too much. That's why I'm telling you, instead of taking off 1/8 of an inch, take off like a 1/16 of an inch. I did 5 3/8, and I should have done 5 and what is it? I'm not sure what it is. Something 16ths, not 3/8. So now we're going to slide this in here. I'm usually pretty good with measurements, but I can't think right now. What is it? 8/16, I think it's what it's called. So I'm just pressing the bottom of my lantern so it will make contact with the border of that box that we added here. Now, let me plug up my hot glue gun really quick. Mine gets hot real quick. And I should have had this ready, but I don't have that much counter space, and I had a bunch of stuff on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these pumpkins that I picked up at Joann's, and that will help because I'll glue them right next to the lantern just in case it didn't make really good contact all around the perimeter of the tray. When I add the hot glue, that's going to glue it to the bottom but also to the top. But I do want to at least make an effort of getting it to stick there for sure. Oh, this is so cute. Yeah, look at that. So I'm going to add some pumpkins right here. That is super cute. Now you could decorate a real lantern like this if you wanted to. That would be real pretty. No, not yet. I'm going to stack some pumpkins up there, and that way you guys can get, let me put some of these things away while my glue gun is heating up. And I have a zillion tools out. Get my ruler. And let's try it now. You know, I don't make any notes, so sometimes I don't remember what my measurements were that I did when I'm creating something, because I hardly ever write anything down. I think I'm going to remember that, and then I don't remember. Now, I have this bow that a friend of mine gifted me a couple years ago, my friend Nisha, and we had done a fall swap, and I could add this bow to the corner right here, and that would make it really gorgeous. Look at that. Let me tilt it so you guys can see it. Look at that. Is that pretty or what? You could add bows to it. You could add whatever you want to it. I think I'm going to keep mine. I think the bow might be a little too big for the lantern. If I had given myself more room, maybe a bigger box, but then I would have to build it in sections, and I kind of didn't want to do that. So here we go. I'm going to add a pumpkin here. This one was actually had like a wedge cut out of it. I just stuck it in the corner right there. I don't waste anything. So now right here, you know how they stack pumpkins by the door? That's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to stack this pumpkin, and I'm adding glue to the sides and to the bottom so it will stick and hold the lantern in place in case it comes unglued from the base. This is added protection, added strength. And I'm going to stack another one. Oh, these are gorgeous. This one. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And this little bag was only like, I don't know, $6 or $7. And it was clearance. I mean, 60% off on top of that. So it was a really, really good deal. And I'm going to stack one more. I'm going to find a tiny one. And I'm going to stack 3 pumpkins. Oh, they're so pretty. I'll add glue there instead. Love it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. I have some glue right here that I don't want to show. Look at that, you guys. Look at my stack of pumpkins by the lantern. Is that pretty or what? And look at the tree. Oh my goodness. Let's turn this off. Look at that. Let me turn it this way, I guess, so you guys can see the whole thing. Is that gorgeous or what? I think my niece is going to love it because she loves owls. And she works like at, I think at an attorney's office or something like that. And she will be able to display it there. I'm going to add glue there, and I'm going to add glue to the side of the house so it will hold the lantern in place as well. Let me find maybe another one right here. I need another size, an in-between size. This one might be better. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to add glue to the center and then to a little bit to the side of the house. I don't want to touch the glue too much. And then I'm going to get this little bitty one and I'm going to put it way on top. And we have a pumpkin tower. That is so cute. Look at that, you guys. There is the back. See the little pumpkin stack? Anyway, that is all that I had to share. I hope that I explained everything correctly. So make sure to stop by Joann's. If you guys have a Joann's near you, I don't, but I just happened to be in the next town over, and we went and they had a lot of sale. So, and I picked up little things like stuff like this. The smallest I could find, the better. I picked this little pickup with the little pine cones. I picked this one up with the berries, and then I picked up some paper that I could use. But I love, love, love the way this came out. I'm going to add some kind of sentiment or something, and I will post it either on Facebook, Instagram, but I'll put it on the thumbnail of the videos as well. That way you guys get to see the whole thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helped you. I hope that it was easy to follow along and that you guys create one. And if you do, tag me. Let me know that you created one so I can see yours. I don't care what theme it is. I want to see it. Thanks for watching. Bye.